Hello and welcome to the Mia Show. Tonight we have an extra special guest, Pinky Chuzzlewit. Now, Miss Chuzzlewit, would you mind telling us how you became a singer-songwriter and gained world fame?
Oh, well, thank you, Mia. Yeah, well, it's all started right when I was a kid and on the pig farm, and I used to sing to the pigs, and like they liked my singing, and it kind of gave them a better appetite, like increased their appetite, and they ate more potatoes, and I liked singing to the pigs, and then I thought, well, I started making up my own songs to see if the pigs would like them, and they really did. Because I could tell if they liked them, because it gave their appetite, made their appetite even bigger when they liked the songs. So I thought, well, it was really nice that the pigs liked my songs. And then I thought maybe I'd learn to play piano a bit, so I could sort of, accompany myself. So I started teaching myself piano, so I could, kind of do my songs with the piano for the pigs. And then the pigs, they really liked it, even though I wasn't very good at the piano in the beginning. But they really liked my songs, and they ate lots of potatoes and got really fat. And then my dad came out one day, and he heard me singing to the pigs, and he said, "Oh, where did you get that song?" And I said, "Oh, I made it up." And he's like, "Yeah." He said, "Just not bad, And he said he had this mate who's proper musician, and he could help me sort of sort my music out and the arrangements and kind of write it out properly for me. And so I was like, oh yeah, okay, right. So we went round to his house, right, and he had all the proper stuff, and he could write music and everything, because I can't do that. And so he wrote all my songs out for me, and he could play them properly on the piano, and better than what I could. And he even he got some he put some percussion drums and things into it, and it sounded really good, and it was really nice to hear it sounding really proper with proper percussion, and not just the pigs grunting, because that's just always what I had before, and they were they were really good, but they weren't always didn't always have the right rhythm and grunting in the right place, and sometimes there was a lot of eating noises. So so he said to me what do you think about making a CD and busking at the markets and selling your CD there? And I was like, nah. And he's like, go on, just give it a try. And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, look, if you're nervous, you could wear a blindfold so you can't see the people. And I'm like, oh yeah? So I was like, oh, all right, I'll give it a try. So we went down the market with a portable keyboard, and I had a blindfold on, so I couldn't see people, and they wouldn't make me nervous. And I did some songs, and and people, I could hear people put money in the hat, but other people kind of took money out as well, because I had the blindfold on, and I couldn't see them taking the money out of the hat. And then other people they came up to me and they'd say "What? Why are you wearing that blindfold? Have you just had an eye operation or something?" But it went down really well. They liked my songs, so that was really good. And then this bloke from a radio station, he came up to me and he says, you're pretty good. Do you want to come on the radio station and do your songs on the radio? And I said nah. And he's like, go on. It'd be good. The people would really like it. And I'm like, well, I get really nervous, and I like singing to pigs. So could I bring one of my pigs along to the radio station? And he's like, no. He said, if you're blind and wanted to bring along a guide dog, that'd be all right, but no pigs, health and safety. And I'm like, oh. So I was really I didn't want to do it, but my mum said why don't you bring along a stuffed pig, a soft toy pig, and you could have one of those ones that when you squeeze its tummy it goes So I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. So I said, okay. So I went along to the radio station, and I had my soft toy pig, so I could, have it sitting there, and I could look at it while I was singing. And first, the guy asked me some questions, and he, asked me about how I got into songwriting. So I started telling him about, when I was a kid and the pigs. And then he kind of cut me off quite quickly, and he said, well, why don't you sing some songs now? So I'm like, okay. So I sang my songs, and to the pig, and it went down really well. And apparently they had lots of people phoning in and saying how much they liked my music. And then like I got this phone call from this bloke from a record company, and he said, what do you think about, we sign you up and you make a CD? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, we'll pay you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, maybe. And he said, and you'd have to do some touring and do some concerts. So I'm like, oh, yeah, like, maybe I could, like, tour around all the pig farms and, like, sing at all the pig farms. And he's like, nah. And I'm like, oh, because I like singing to pigs. Like, pigs are my inspiration. It's like the pigs that, like, got me writing songs in the first place. And he's like, nah, because, like, pigs don't buy records, so there's no money to be made singing at pig farms. And I'm like, oh. But he said, look, if you go to concerts and make lots of money and lots of people buy your records, then, you'll have lots of money and you can buy your own pig farm and you can have lots of pigs. And I'm like, oh, yeah? So I thought, well, that sounded good. So that's what I did. So, like, I got signed up to this record company and, made a few CDs and, I did lots of concerts and, I made lots of money. And now we've got this, like, really big pig farm. I've got, like, the biggest pig farm in Australia. Got, like, loads and loads of pigs. And like, we've got CDs, my CDs, playing my songs to them all day long through the speakers. And they just love it. And they're, like really, really happy pigs. And they just, like, eat so many potatoes. And, like, they're so big. And they're so fat. So that's how, like, I got to be world famous, like, and thanks for asking, Mia.
Thank you, Pinky, and we'll be back after the break to hear you sing some of your songs.